Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come, 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 whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of living, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Welcome to this service from Newcastle Unitarian Church. It's a wonderful world. Despite the COVID and the economy, it's still a wonderful world. I'm Margaret Robson, a member of Stockton Unitarian Church. I'll start with some words of welcome. We gather here for worship. We bring our worlds with us, our worries and concerns, our strengths and weaknesses, our beliefs and our doubts. In these moments of worship, let us be of one body. We each seek to be uplifted by the music and words. We each seek to renew our spirituality and refresh our inner spirit, that is ourself. Some words by Tony McNeill. And now I'm going to light the chalice, again with some words from Tony McNeill. We light this chalice to gather us together in worship. It is a symbol of our Unitarian community where each person is respected as an individual. There is no restriction on belief or faith. It is a community where the joys and sorrows of life can be addressed freely. And now let's sing our first hymn, which is from, all of the hymns are from the Purple Book, Sing Your Faith. And this is number 33, Enter, Rejoice and Come In. Reading. We look around at the natural world, now in its prime. The trees are richly green, the flowers are full of colour, with bees and insects busy about them. We enjoy the warmth of the sun on our bodies and afterwards the coolness of the rain. Life is abundant in the natural world around us. How wonderful and mysterious is this time of growth, a coordinated miracle fed from a mysterious source. When we look at this beauty and feel its energy, Can we not feel it affecting our minds and our hearts? Let us have the courage at this time to embrace this energy for ourselves, feeling the spirit of life renewed in our spirits. And now a story called 4 Friends. Raven, Rat and Tortoise were talking with each other by the side of a beautiful fountain when a small wild goat came running towards them. She ran with great fear. Raven, Tortoise and Rat immediately understood that a great hunter must be chasing her. They swiftly moved away to look after themselves. Tortoise hid in some nearby water, Rat hurried into a neat little hole, and Raven flew to the top of the tree which stood by the side of the fountain. The little wild goat stopped, and even thought the water in the fountain was clear, she did not drink. Raven called Tortoise, and when Tortoise saw that the little goat was thirsty but not drinking, he said, "Drink, little goat, the water is clear, and then please tell us why you were running with such great fear." At that point, Rat came out of her hole, and Raven flew down from the tree. When the friends had gathered, Goat told the 3 animals that, as they had guessed, she had nearly been caught by a great hunter. The animals were well pleased that she had escaped and asked her to stay with them. She would be quite safe in their company. They could now be 4 friends instead of 3. And so it was. The 4 friends lived happily together. Then one day, Goat did not come to their meeting place at the fountain as was usual. Raven, Rat and Tortoise waited a long time. They missed her and wondered what had happened. At last they decided that they would go and search for their friend. Raven flew high into the sky. He looked everywhere until he saw how Goat had been caught in the hunter's net. Tortoise and Rat were anxiously awaiting his return. When Raven folded his wings, they knew that he brought sad news. Raven told them that he had seen how Goat was caught in a hunter's net. The 3 friends wondered what to do. Of course they had to escape and rescue their friend, but how? After a great deal of thought, Raven spoke. He said to Rat, "You can do it. You know how to free Goat. Do it quickly, or the huntsman will kill her." Rat agreed. She asked Raven to carry her in his bill as swiftly as he could to the place where Goat now lay. Then Rat would bite through the net's twine and Goat would be freed. They agreed to Rat's plan. Raven took her into his beak and off they flew. Goat was very glad to see her friends. Rat gnawed through the twine as fast as she could. Meanwhile, Tortoise travelled along the road to the place where Goat lay. He arrived just when Goat had been freed. Upon seeing Tortoise, Goat cried, "Oh no! Now the hunter will catch you! You're slow. None of us can carry you. I can run fast, Raven can fly, and Rat can hide in a hole. But where can you go? There is no water near here." Just then the hunter arrived. Little Goat ran away, and Raven flew high into the sky, and Rat scurried into a hole. But as Goat had said, Tortoise had nowhere to go. When the hunter saw that Goat had escaped, he looked everywhere. Goat was not to be seen. Then his eyes spotted Tortoise, who was a big, big tortoise. The hunter could not believe his luck. It was so easy to capture him. He was put in the same old net which only a little earlier had been around Goat. The hunter lifted the net onto his shoulder and began the journey home. As soon as he was on his way, the 3 friends dared to come out of their hiding place. They were angry that Tortoise had been caught. They were also very sad. Then Raven spoke, saying, "We must save him." He had hardly finished speaking when Rat spoke. She said, "We'll follow the hunter. Then Goat will run in front of the hunter and tease him into catching her. He cannot run after her with the net on his back. He'll have to put the net down." Goat liked Rat's plan. She said, "I'll limp as if I'm hurt. That will surely make him think that he can catch me. Rat, you must then free Tortoise from the net like you freed me." They all agreed and went on their way. When the hunter saw Goat, he did not, of course, think that he could easily catch her now that she was limping so badly. He put the net down and chased the little wild goat. Goat was very clever and led him a long way away. The chase was in vain. Dispirited, the hunter returned to the net, thinking at least he still had the big fat tortoise. But by the time he returned to the net, Tortoise was gone. Rat had gnawed through the strings and freed her friend. Suddenly the hunter was very frightened. How come that one who could run so fast, as well as one who was so slow, had escaped from his net? The place was haunted. It had to be haunted. Though really tired, he ran home as fast as he could. Once more the four friends came out of their hiding places. Their friendship lasted until they died. And now let's sing our second hymn, which is 165, "The Spirit Lives to Set Us Free." And now let's join in a meditation about this wonderful world. Let us be aware of both light and darkness. Consider all that light means: sight, colour, shape, honesty, hope, love, truth. Let us contemplate the gift of light and what we receive from it. And what of darkness? Mystery, challenge, fear, the unknown. We all have known both light and darkness. Our lives move from darkness into light, or light into darkness. Let us think of ourselves in water, floating safely, held up by buoyancy, at peace and feeling calm. Let us imagine the water to be warm and clear, and we are happily alone, letting the gentle waves quietly lap around our body. There is no pressure to move, no pressure to be anywhere else, just gently float. And now we are in the sky, as if we were a beautiful bird, not flying with purpose, but letting the wind take us where it will. Almost as if we were a small child being swung in the air by a loving parent. We feel so happy to be free, so peaceful in such a beautiful sun-filled sky. Let us now consider all the things that grow on this earth, the trees and plants that feed us, as well as give us so much beauty. Let us bring into our mind the most wonderful garden that we can walk through, stopping from time to time to touch the leaves or petals, to smell the amazing perfumes, and to touch various fruit of the branches or vines. Now we think of the wonder of the universe. We think of our moon and sun and 1 billion of stars around us, for we are part of a universe. Yet we are so diminutive. Let us consider ourselves as part of one small aspect of living beings on our planet. Let us imagine all the creatures of the sea and the sky and their ability to move differently and to live in a different environment to us. Let us regard the differing physical shapes and colours and realise the wonder of our planet. We may live with a creature who offers us love and devotion. We may see domestic animals all around our homes and workplaces. Let us take time to consider all creatures of the earth, from the tiny insects that we may never ever notice, to the large, amazing mammals like the elephant, the bear, the giraffe. There are millions of different species of animals all around us. Amen. A wonderful world. We had a wonderful month of May, well, weather-wise. While on our daily walks, I, among many, have appreciated the natural world all around us, and the changes throughout the season of spring. The trees, bushes and flowers, including the humble daisies and buttercups, are showing nature's wonder. The birds, both in the air and on the water, swans, cygnets, ducks, gulls, blackbirds, etc. We had lovely blue skies and sunshine, where the air seemed much cleaner and purer. Although many people have stayed indoors for many weeks, we have been able to appreciate nature better as we have had more time to look around us. If you have a garden or a green space near you, we have been able to notice how green everything is. Then the much-needed rain came in June, making the green even brighter. Out walking and keeping to social distances, I've noticed most people you meet say hello or good morning and may add a few words about the weather or thanks for keeping your distance. People seem to be much more friendly. I live in the first floor flat overlooking the river. There is always something going on. Ducks, swans and people swimming in the river, birds flying about, lots of different boats, motorboats, canoes, kayaks, etc. And on the path on the riverbank on the opposite side of the river, there are many hikers, cyclists and day walkers and dogs, as this is part of the Teesdale Way. Everything is green, clouds of all shapes and sizes scurry by. What a wonderful world. When the world does emerge from quarantine, it's likely to be a very different place. It will be up to us what the shape of it is, if we take the initiative. As a country, how might the pandemic affect our approach to poverty, climate change, work, healthcare, and much more? What would we want to or be willing to give up in order to make space and energy for the new? The world has changed. It cannot go back to how it was, and in many ways neither should it seek to do so. Julian of Norwich said, "All shall be well, and you shall see yourself that all manner of things shall be well." So despite everything, eventually all will be well. And now let's sing another hymn. Hymn 198, We'll Build a Land.
Come, build a
story. Now, at the moment, we can't hug, can we? We can't hug. We're not allowed to hug, unless we're living with someone, of course. But this is a story about hugging in church. The Great Hugging Plague. And this is written by Robert Fulgham, a Unitarian minister, an American minister. The bright idea for welcoming parishioners at the church door was well meant, but somehow it got out of hand. The Great Hugging Plague is how it's remembered now. It broke out in our church in the 70s, back in the days when loving everybody was the way to straighten the world out once and for all. The Sunday morning greeters group started it. They decided to hug every single person who walked in the front door. Wanted to make everyone feel loved and welcomed right away. They were just going to try it for a couple of Sundays and see how it went, but things got a little out of hand. Sometimes as many as 6 people were standing around the vestibule of the church on a Sunday morning, waiting to hug anything that moved. The greeters group even started wearing signs around their necks that said things like designated hugger, hugger at large, hug me, I'm human, and God loves a cheerful hugger. They thought a little touch of levity would grease the wheels of social interchange and make hugging really happen. As I say, it got out of hand. It was said that when business was slow, the huggers hugged each other for practice. Even the janitor got hugged as he tried to clean up some spilled coffee. A stray dog strolled in and got hugged, as did several people looking for the Methodist church nearby. I heard that someone even hugged the coffee urn. It was warm and made comforting sounds, so he hugged it. There was a rumour that some parishioners came just to be hugged and went home without even going into church. Hugging junkies, it became an epidemic, the Great Hugging Plague. Not everyone wanted to be hugged. A somewhat quiet and reserved member of the congregation wrote a letter to me on the board of trustees. Said he had developed a hugging aversion. Said he didn't want to keep other people from doing it, but he was nervous about getting assaulted by Joy when he came to church. He had tried sneaking in through the kitchen door, but one of the cooks had got caught up in the mania and not only hugged him, but spilled chicken bouillon on his suit. Said his glasses got knocked off and his toes stomped on in the morning melee, and he felt social pressure. If he capitulated to one hugger, he'd have to hug everyone else too. Said he was anxious about going to the restroom when huggers were in there. But he didn't just complain, he had some constructive suggestions. Perhaps a second entrance for people who just wanted to say hi or shake hands when they came to church. Maybe a medical alert tag to wear, one with a silhouette of people hugging and a red line across it. No hugging. Furthermore, he suggested organising a group called HA, Huggers Anonymous, for those who wanted to kick the habit. Perhaps he suggested we could offer T-shirts and that said, "Don't hug me," or "untouchable," or "unclean," or something. He said the only way he had been able to put off the huggers was to walk through the door with his thumb in his mouth. The huggers didn't quite know how to handle that. He had thought of carrying an open umbrella or a small child with a runny nose. While the board and I were working out a response to this concern, the first wave of freewheeling kissing hit. Seems somebody had been to visit the Episcopal Church, and there was this exercise called the Kiss of Peace, where you held hands, sang the benediction, and then turned and kissed people on the cheek. Great idea. So our huggers were all for doing some hand-holding and peace-kissing. Sure enough, they tried it one Sunday morning without any warning. Well, it was a Sunday to remember, let me tell you. Guess we weren't quite ready for unprovoked kissing, for the sake of peace or anything else. The Board of Trustees talked about hugging and kissing a great deal more than they ever intended. It made trying to deal with a leaky chancel roof seem simple in comparison, and I felt the need to address the whole issue of public affection in one of those wishy-washies on the one hand and then on the other hand sermons that left me as confused as the congregations. The 70s have come and gone. Aggressive affection is out of fashion. People in that church still hug each other, but they are more careful about it now. The purpose of their hugging has changed. Once it was a statement about the liberation of the hugger. Now it is a statement of caring about the huggee. A shift from getting to giving. A shift from look at me to I am seeing you. A shift from knowing what I want to noticing what someone else wants. You might not learn this just from watching two people hug each other. You'd have to put your arms around somebody to understand. Let's hope after this pandemic we are able to hug each other, but not become a hugging pandemic. And now some closing words. Let us go in peace and in fellowship with one another. May our hearts be filled with love for this world and all its inconsistencies. Amen. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colours of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They are saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn so much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful